Hello. 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 Oh no.
Mag change! Oh, look at him! Goddamn pussy! Lay down your weapons and give up! Say hello to my little friend! Bastard! Can I kill you all, bastards? Just let us pass and you will be spared!
Just wait and see, yelling out loud. I'm the one who's free. Gotta get that cash, gotta make it right. Got my trusty weapon shining in the light.
Oh, Hardcore Tarkov. Is it an empty wipe or is it just a glimmer of hope? Let's try to answer that question. Let's talk Escape from Tarkov. As many of you know, I always try to play on wipe day to experience that initial rush, and this wipe is no different. But let's be real, I have a genuine dislike for the entire concept of wipes in Tarkov. You know, wipe hype, I just don't get it. Honestly, I don't enjoy Battle Pass seasons in most games either, so I'm not the target demographic. For me, wipes have always felt like test resets, not something to look forward to as a core feature.
Never mind. We still got a work to do.
For those briefly out of the loop, Escape from Tarkov has wiped yet again, and we're now in what they're calling a hardcore wipe. Reduced player scav, spawn timers, no tasks initially, restricted locations that require transit access, 100% boss spawns, no flea market, insanely increased insurance rates, and a few other changes. Is Hardcore Tarkov truly different? Escape from Tarkov has always held a special place in my heart, so to get back to our main question that we're kind of asking here, is Hardcore Tarkov actually that different? I've played 8 PMC raids so far, and I know it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, and honestly the game feels the most empty it's ever felt on a wipe day. That could be due to the lack of tasks, or perhaps the shift in playstyle has just made this even more the season of the rat. By rat, I mean camping, slow movement, and the intention to never engage in a direct firefight, only an ambush. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. This wipe, the emphasis has definitely shifted to survival over making rubles, which I view as a positive change. I understand why most of the degenerate Tarkov community will dislike this, but a lot of you also like stupid things like bee hopping, jumping around corners midair while shooting. So your opinions are pretty much dog shit for me anyways, just like mine might be to you. My prediction, this is going to be a rat-tacular wipe. New players are probably going to have an even harder time trying to engage with this game. Like I said, I've played a bit just to get a general feel, and this wipe feels off. There's not the same energy surrounding Tarkov. Ground Zero still sucks, mainly because it's a map of push spawns, something Tarkov, in my opinion, has always needed to fix. The enter raid mechanic is one of the silliest parts of this game. For those of you who are experienced or in a flow state on a map, this becomes second nature. And while some might enjoy knowing exactly where and when all PMC spawns, I find it definitely ruins the immersion and fun for me. I haven't done any of the transit routes yet, mainly because I find the transit mechanic to be the most half-assed way of promising an open world experience. It works, but it's not good. Is there any glimmer of hope amidst this emptiness, though? The lack of quests and the increased scav timer have me curious to see how this plays out for other people. I actually enjoyed not being forced to do the same boring tasks right out of the gate, and instead focused on simply playing the game. Yeah, I harken it back to when we used to all identify items before going into our first raid so you could get level 2. It was a boring part of the game to do every time you boot it up. This, combined with the 100% boss spawn rate, is genuinely the only reason I'm going to boot up this game past wipe day. I just got my GP25 from Partisan, so maybe with some more grenades we can finally have some fun. While the matching system is quite possibly in the best state it's ever been, that's only because the bar was set so incredibly low from past years of just trying to get in a raid. I don't think there's enough yet to fully pull me back to invest in this game's PvP mode though until 1.0. You know, what's the point if it's gonna wipe anyway and I'm forced to crawl back up and, you know, no offense, the prestige system isn't enough for me to care to do that yet. Moving on to the scab timer though, I know I'm someone who's often reached 6.0 karma with friendly bosses, and I've gotten, you know, max intel center, so I've always had like a 3-minute scab timer, sometimes less. You know, it makes you friendly with bosses and whatnot, it gives you better equipment, and I don't think I'm going to be pursuing that this wipe, but we'll see how time works out. It's a bit of a time investment, and if I'm going to sit down and play a game for a few hours, is Tarkov pre-1.0 really the game I want to be playing? After playing 8 raids, I can honestly say not yet. I do think this is a better balance for player scavs long term though, as much as it will hurt new players and bad PvPers from being able to recover. Maybe it's me, maybe it's the game, but it just feels empty and void. Part of it being, obviously, there's going to be less player scavs. But it's still full of serious but soulless players lacking the enjoyment the game desperately needs. I'm not angry about any of the changes. In fact, they give me a lot of hope that perhaps the developers understand this game isn't a hyper-competitive MLG style game, but instead a survival simulator. I've seen too many games go down that rabbit hole and fail spectacularly, creating a giant waste of space. I think of PlanetSide 2 and Project Argo as ones I've personally invested the most time into pursuing. I like the concept though that this might eventually lead to a 1.0 release where, you know, we don't have, like I said earlier, there's no tasks and no quests now. And so I like that concept might eventually lead to us in a 1.0 release where we need to find traders in game or, you know, explore locations to start questing, finally making Tarkov an RPG and not just a shooter. I'm happy for the future of Tarkov. I'm just not excited right now. What about you? Have you played this current wipe? Are you looking to play it? Or are you going to be holding out for 1.0? Or maybe never play Tarkov ever again? I know I will never hardcore this game in the way I used to, but here we are. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.